Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! Taylor gets this one out towards center field to the short porch, and it's a grand slam! That's a floater, out to short. And it's good, off the shortstop's glove! Just like we drew it from Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! Grant Fournier, two-run shot to right.
We welcome you to midweek Tri-County baseball action here at the Runnymede Babe Ruth Complex, between a battle between two top teams in the South and North divisions. We bring you the Gartons of Vineland and the South Jersey Grizzlies on a cloudy but otherwise fair Tuesday night here in Runnymede. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Vincent Folk this afternoon on a bit of a quiet day, but otherwise we had some rain over the weekend, and now we're looking to get back on track with our second Tri-County game of the year and our first of two this week. We'll be traveling down to the famous Alcyon Park on Thursday in 48 hours' time for a 7 o'clock matchup in the South Division between CHBR and Cherry Hill Pittman. The two commonalities between these two teams is that both had a bit of a sluggish start, but they've been on the mend since then. Vineland right now sitting third in the South Division of the Tri-County Baseball League. They've won 3 straight after starting 0-2 on the campaign. Meanwhile, the South Jersey Grizzlies, they're on a 4-2 start. They started out 0-2. Well, now they've won 4 in a row under Nick Gruber, the assistant coach at Paul Sixth, who for the summer gets to take the lead role with the Grizzlies. So one of these teams, well, unless there's a tie like there has been with Camden twice this year already, unless there's a tie tonight, we're going to see one of these winning streaks come to a close. As the Grizzlies start Anthony Angelo Jr., the right-hander out of Rutgers Camden. Meanwhile, Washington College's Logan Ruga gets the start for the Gartons of Vineland. Two teams right near the top of their division, and honestly 1 or 2 wins away from taking the lead in their respective divisions. The Pine Barrens, which are second in the North, guess what? They've got a losing record. They're 3-5. But they've also played the most games out of anybody and have been able to get through the most adversity through rain, postponements, and the rest of it to get going. We'll take a quick break as the Grizzlies are ready to take the field, and we've got Tri-County Midweek Baseball here on DWB. We'll be right back. Anthony Angelo is the pitcher this afternoon for the Grizzlies. He comes into this one with 7 2/3 innings pitched, a 0.91 ERA, and only a 1.48 on-base average. He's done pretty well for himself this year, 2 appearances in 2 starts, and he struck out 10. And of course, the right-hander hailing from Rutgers Camden, one of the top D3 teams in the Northeast this year. He's a rising junior with the Scarlet Raptors out of Washington Township, but a grad of PVI. Of course, the Angelo name is a pretty popular one in the PVI community, but this season for Rutgers Camden, he only had 5 appearances in 2 starts and had 11 innings, giving up 14 earned runs. They're going to have a bit of an extended warm-up here because Angelo and his catcher are still throwing it down. However, can't say I've seen this before. The coaches and the umpires are doing ground rules in the middle of the warm-ups. In fact, they started it after the warm-ups began. So Angelo will take a bit of a rest there. Let's take a look at the starting lineups while we have a little bit of an extra time frame here. Starting off with the visiting Garton's of Vineland. Presented by Harper Driving School, by the way. We're starting off with the pitcher, Logan Ruga out of Washington College. He bats in the leadoff spot. Joe Peacock out of St. Augustine Prep, right down the road from 55 and not too far from the Vineland area. He bats second and hits in left field. Anthony Charles, a longtime Garton, will take the right field spot in the 3 slot. Darren Fisher, another mainstay, is in center field. Josh Herner is at third base. Tim Search, the Collingswood product, is at first. Jack Peacock, another brother of the St. Augustine family, bats 7th at second base. Chris Stinson is the extra hitter. Connor Ward is the shortstop, and then RCGC product Ethan Evans will be the catcher, rounding out the order in the 10 slot. So Angelo, even though he had a bit of a rocky sophomore season with Rutgers Camden, he has certainly rebounded here in the summer and now comes into his 3rd appearance of the season with a sub-1 ERA and high hopes versus a Garton's team that has won 3 straight, and of course piggybacking off of a Grizzlies team that has won 4 in a row. So here is Logan Ruga. He's getting us started in the leadoff spot. Anthony Angelo Jr. ready to go. As here on an overcast Tuesday evening, 77 degrees at first pitch here from the Runnymede Youth Athletic Association. The first pitch is upstairs and we're underway. You don't have too much of a on top of the world view as you do here. Not too far separated from home plate. Here's the 1-0. Was fouled back right towards the Black Horse Pike, and it's 1-1. That one's fouled back, and it's 1-2. Angelo joined by his catching component in Nick Nigro, wearing the Widener catcher's helmet and a product of PVI again. Here's the 1-2. Fastball in the outside corner, just missed, and it's 2-2. Yeah, not too far off that time, but I think still a good call. He's got himself back in a hitter's count in the first at-bat of the ball game. That one skipped in that time. Sometimes we see those sequences there where a pitcher will just miss right off the plate. He'll miss just off the plate, and then the next pitch won't be as kind. But we've got a 3-2. That one's a bullet out towards second base. It's a diving stop, fading away. The throw to first is in time, and he got him. A very nice 4-3 put out there, aided by Mateo Viola. And the batter will now be Joey Peacock. First pitch from Angelo Jr. He'll get right on top of that one. It's in play. Angelo grabs it. Throw to first is in time, and 2 quick groundouts here in the first. And it'll now be Anthony Charles, the batter. Batting out of the right side. Again, that Goldie Beacom helmet representing him well. A lot of South Jersey talent recruited to Goldie Beacom. One of them was, from recent memory, Joey Kurtz, who spent a year at Goldie Beacom after graduating from Buna in 2023, since transferred to RCSJ Cumberland in JUCO Region 19. That one's outside. In the dirt. Gonna have a 2-0 here. Charles in 4 games still searching for his first hit of the year. 2 strikeouts, 4 stolen bases, and 2 walks. So an on-base percentage of .200. But in 4 games, 8 at-bats, no hits, no runs batted in, and 1 run scored on his offensive on his behalf. Curveball catches the zone. It's a good rebound pitch there by Anthony Angelo put the hitter into a hitter's count and then get a nice little off speed, which he hasn't shown too much in the early going. There's a hot shot. 3 sharp ground balls, and all of them will be outs. The throw to first is in time, and the side is retired. An easy first for Anthony Angelo. A 4-3, a 1-3, and a 6-3. Grizzlies now come up to bat, leading off with Ricky Templeton in the bottom of the first. We'll be right back. Ricky Templeton, the third baseman, leads us off for the Grizzlies in the bottom of the first after a scoreless top half. Let's take a look at the Grizzlies starting lineup. Presented to you by Harper Driving School. Ricky Templeton, again the third baseman, batting leadoff. Mateo Viola at second base, batting second.
Hunter Cohen is now the DH.
Okay, we will correct that. So on your screen, by the way, the DH is now Hunter Cohen instead of Joey Fichetti. But A.J. Palumbo at short, Zach Morales in right field, Cody Brown at first, Cole Ambrosius in left, Keegan Spraggins of Triton in center, Nick Mararchi of Cherry Hill West at the EH spot, and Nick Nigro, the catcher. So again, that only changed in the 10 spot. You said Hunter Cohen takes over for Joey Fichetti at the DH spot. We've got an 0-1 to Templeton. It's outside. Third baseman tonight for the Grizzlies. Grizzlies coming into this one with 4 straight wins after an 0-2 start to the campaign. Again, both of these teams riding winning streaks going into today's contest. Vineland winning 3 in a row after dropping their opening night. But it seemed like the first week of the season caused a lot of jitters. We saw a lot of upsets. I mean, Cinnaminson, the Crew, beat the Rough Riders, the reigning champions. A lot of very established teams definitely failed to find their footing in the first week, but now that we're a little bit deeper into the season, we're finding more opportunities to see that come to light. Here's the pitch. There's a hot shot, bullet for a base hit back up the middle. So Templeton gets himself a base hit. Fisher with a bit of a taller grass threshold. He'll pick that one up. And Ruga sends a fastball right back to where it came from. And the batter will now be Viola. Just missed inside that time. 1-0. So Logan Ruga kind of getting the not so common predicament of starting the game out of the leadoff spot. But he's a bit of a utility man. A right-hander out of Washington College. this season producing at both sides of the ball. He's 2 for 7 in his early contests this year. He's got 11 Ks in 3 appearances, 1 win, 1 loss, 11 innings, and a 0.64 ERA. That one is right back to Ruga. He'll throw it to short for 1. A bit of a hesitant throw, and he is safe at first. So they do get 1 on that play. It's going to be scored as a 1-6 fielder's choice. And now the batter is A.J. Palumbo. Palumbo out of CCBC Catonsville, one of the many community colleges in Baltimore County. A lot of South Jersey products have been there, like Aiden Huey of Pittman. Not specifically at Catonsville, but 2 that come to mind came from my alma mater, Sean Driscoll and John Perosi of Audubon. That one missed low. But he'll be hitting out of the 3 spot and to be followed by Zach Morales. Got to strike that time on a breaking ball. Ruga seems to be a little bit more heavy on the breaking ball than his counterpart, Anthony Angelo. That could very well just be a byproduct of the fact that these 2 teams haven't seen each other this year and still getting the motions of everything figured out here in this midseason contest. Here's the pitch. It is a little bit weird tonight. It's a little bit quiet. I mean, you hear a little bit of the hustle and bustle of the Black Horse Pike behind us. There's a CVS across the street. There's a Wawa. People are shutting their car doors. But this is one of the few ballparks where I feel like I have to be a golf announcer. I feel like I have to watch my tone a little bit tonight. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball out to third. It will skip through the shortstop's legs. And that's going to be an infield single. I mean, that was a tough play nonetheless. Palumbo's got a base hit, and now it's Zach Morales out of Holy Family. So 2 on, 1 out. Swing and a miss. We've seen the South Jersey Grizzlies twice. We saw them once last year, and then saw them again in 2023. We were actually in left center field for the play-in game versus Cinnaminson back in 2023. It was our first playoff game with Tri-County Baseball. 0-1 is a strike called. He'll quickly get fallen behind here 0-2. He's got 2 home runs this season, a .538 hitter. One of the most prolific power bats in the Tri-County League. In fact, in the 2 games that we have seen the Grizzlies, Morales has homered in both of them. Versus the Pine Barrens back in 2024, and again versus Cinnaminson in 2023. So he's gotten his fair share. But he's got 8 RBIs, 7 for 13 in his at-bat so far. 0-2. It's outside. Check that 2-2 now. Holy Family added baseball as a program in 2024. Just wrapped up its 2nd season as a member of the Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference, the CACC. 2 on, 1 out. And the 2-2 is outside. So again, with Morales being one of the more feared power bats in the Tri-County League, not just this season, but ever since we signed on in 2023. I think a lot of the pitchers around here know his game. And taking a conservative approach here to the cleanup man with 2 on, dangerous situation for the Gartons. Rips it foul. On deck will be the first baseman, Cody Brown, to be followed by the left fielder, Cole Ambrosius. I keep wanting to say Colin Ambrosius, our good friend from Pittman, and now playing sprint football over at Penn. He was a subject of or a guest of our Dan Wilkins Show podcast back in 2024. And that will be ball 4. Just missed at the knees, and the bases are loaded. Chris Williams kind of inadvertently showing his displeasure with that ball 4 call. We've said it before, when a coach tells his pitcher that you make a really good spot, it's kind of mixed signaling in that situation. But the bases are loaded. That one is high. Because arguing balls and strikes is frowned upon, especially in a lower stake situation here. But I would argue that, well, with these two teams' offenses, scoring early and often here would be a big opportunity against Ruga. Got a check swing and really ripped into one. That one's going to hit off the roof of the Runnymede Community Center. I mean, he didn't even go all the way around that time. And Brown's going to be in a 1-1 count here. So Morales with a free pass and the 1-1. Misses low. Again, Ambrosius, Spraggins, and Mararchi. Next 3 for the Grizzlies. They've only recorded 1 out in this inning. That one also missed low, and it's 3-1. And a recap, Ricky Templeton led us off with a ripping base hit back up the middle. Viola grounded into a 1-6 fielder's choice. Palumbo singled in the infield, and Morales walked. Here's the 3-1 to the first baseman, Cody Brown. Pencils this one out to second. It's picked up. Throw for 1 on to first is not in time. Got the hop, and the Grizzlies get the run as Cody Brown knocks one in with a fielder's choice. Couldn't get the second out at first. And a very productive inning, even if only 1 run is the result. They've had 5 batters, and all 5, in one way or another, have reached base. Viola came around to score that time. Palumbo gets to third. Morales was retired on the 4-6 fielder's choice. And now it's Cole Ambrosius. First pitch. That one's away. Ambrosius out of Shenandoah University. I don't think they're related to the country singers. There's a line drive. That one's actually a little blooper out towards short. It's picked up. They're going to bobble the ball. Throw to first is safe. And it will score Palumbo. As a little bit of second guessing will cost Vineland. As Connor Ward faked towards second, and then by the time he decided to throw to first, it was too late. That will bring home a run. However, it will be penciled in our book as an E6. And Ambrosius makes it 2-0. Yeah, not necessarily a bad play there, but again, still markings of a very productive inning here by the Grizzlies. 6 batters, all 6 have reached base. Viola's fielder's choice produced the first out. Brown's fielder's choice produced the second. And now back-to-back batters have brought home runs. Ruga looks back in the pitch. That one is a curveball. Faded away that time. 2-0. Spraggins, the product of Triton. Right down the road here from Runnymede. Done a couple football games for them over the years and some baseball as well. Strike called, 2-1. And then next will be another catcher we've covered a handful of times, Nick Mararchi, out of Cherry Hill West, with longtime head coach Dan McMaster. That one's fouled back. Yeah, this whole, well, I mean, think about it right now. We're in Runnymede. Triton is in Runnymede. It's a part of the Black Horse Pike District, consisting of Triton, Highland in Blackwood, and Timber Creek, which I think is in the Ariel Sicklerville area, if I recall. There's a couple of districts like that in South Jersey. I mean, Cherry Hill West and East are a part of one district, but that's a little bit of a different story. You've got the Lenape Valley District, which is Lenape, Cherokee, Shawnee, and Seneca high schools, obviously all named after Native American tribes. Got the 2-2. Floated, right field side. They've got a bit of room to run in foul grounds, but it's out of play. And I'm sure I missed it, but I'm sure that the coaches Williams and Gruber discussed what will be, I mean, there's no white line down there. There's a couple of fields around here. It looks like there's some sort of youth camp going on the little field out in left center. And then another one out down the right field line, creating a little bit of a temporary barrier. Still 2-2. Ruga looks back at second and delivers. That one's high. Again, feels a little bit crazy that the Grizzlies only have 2 runs here with 7 batters. They've gotten 2 outs, but the Grizzlies nonetheless have put the bat to the ball after Vineland went down in order in the top of the first. That one is high. So Ruga missed on a couple of fastballs. It's his second walk. And now Nick Mararchi will be the batter. Just an interesting spot here. I mean, you know, we talk about how these innings can kind of break down sometimes, and this is the second instance of the bases being loaded for the Grizzlies, and we're still in the bottom of the first. The only thing to worry about, well, we had the concern back when we covered Pine Barrens and Washington Township a couple weeks back. Strike there, 1-1. But even here in early June or mid-June, darkness is still a factor for these fields that don't have lights. Little short grounder, Ruga muffed it. Throw to first. They're not going to have a play. They do back pick to third. They're going to say he's out at third. Let's take a look. Yeah, let's yeah, I'm not sure there. Grizzlies coach not happy about it. He had a good view down there at third, but the runner is out. The question is, will the run count? I think it will, because the batter did cross home plate well before that happened there, but he'll go back to the dugout, and it looks like we're going to have a 3-0 game. We'll confirm, but we believe it's 3-0 because the batter definitely, or the runner from third definitely did come around. Yeah, let's take a look before we go to break, because we do have the opportunity. Let's flip this over. So just looking at it here, I mean, okay, there you go. So runner scored. That definitely made it 3-0 there. So we've got look back. I think he might have gotten back in there. I'm not sure. I didn't have the best angle on it, but you could see the shortstop kind of muffed it, and then he turned back and threw it to third. It's a high throw. The third baseman brought it down, and then there's the tag right there. I think his hand might have been in that time, but I think that we're gonna leave that up to the people who know best. But it's 3-0 Grizzlies at the end of the first. Top of the second here in Runnymede. Vineland went down in order in the top of the first inning. 3 straight groundouts from Anthony Angelo, and now Darren Fisher will be the batter in center field after a 3 spot by the Grizzlies in the bottom of the third. Grizzlies coach still having some pleasantries about that call at third. We looked at it on the replay, but again, just looking through the fence, it's a little bit of a warped view. It's hard to make a definitive call from our replay angle. First pitch. Breaking ball catches the zone. It's 0-1. 4, 5, and 6 for Chris Williams and the Gartons in the top of the second inning. It'll be Fisher, Herner, and Tim Search. Again, the Collingswood product. Collingswood's had a very, very good rebound in the last couple of years under Brad Klein. They've still got Jairo Mendoza over there. Search being one of the graduates who has gone on to play college ball. Nate Ifey as well. for a far improved Camden County College baseball team. Took RCSJ Cumberland to a 3-game series in the first round of the playoffs. If they had won that, they would have made their first Final Four in 10-plus years for the Region 19 Final Four. That one's ripped right field off the bat of Fisher. Going back, it's up, and it is off the bottom of the wall. Hard to tell with the black fence. Fisher slides into second. He's safe, and it's a leadoff double for the center fielder as the veteran lines that one to right. And Fisher gives Vineland their first base runner of the game, and certainly a good thing down by 3, as that will now bring up Josh Herner. A little bit muggier tonight than expected, but with rain expected tomorrow, we'll be back in action on Thursday for a battle between two South teams, CHBR and Cherry Hill Pittman. 7 o'clock on Thursday in the Cherry Hill rivalry. At 7 o'clock from Alcyon Park. It is a bit of an interesting pairing. You know, one of the first questions I asked when I, had my first meeting with Angelo Marciano and Bill Kohut back in 2023 is, why is there a team that's based in Cherry Hill and Pittman? I mean, they're a good 30, 35 minutes apart from each other. But that's the thing about the Tri-County League. It's just a lot of different pairings and a lot of different situations. That's fouled back. You know, Vince, I keep forgetting there's a fence there. Can't you tell? Struggling with that tonight. In addition to the fact that I have to, I basically have to be a golf announcer. And the 2-2 on the way. That one will just miss outside. He's one pitch away from getting to first, Vince. Those greens are playing very fast here in Runnymede. A lot of difficulty for the batters to get themselves in a good position for Vineland. And the 3-2. It's going to be, no, I got that wrong there. Okay, now it's 3-2. I got that one wrong there. Now it's 3-2. Oh, yeah. You should have corrected me that time. 3-2 from Angelo. That one will be down. A double and a walk. So now here's Search, the batter for Vineland. Strike called. 0-1 here, Search. The current player at TCNJ. Searching for his first hit in the season. He's only had one at-bat in 2 games. Had 1 RBI, a walk, and a stolen base. But the count's quickly 0-2, and definitely a good rebound here by Vineland. Giving up 3 runs in the bottom of the first isn't easy, but the fact that they're now able to rebound with a double, a walk, and a good chunk of the order still to go for Angelo. Looks back at second. And that one is down. Trapped behind the plate by Nigro. Strike 3 called in the outside corner. That's the first strikeout for Anthony Angelo tonight. It's his 11th of the year. And the batter will now be Jack Peacock, the first baseman. Or check that, second baseman. Strike called on the outside corner. Seems like Angelo's really dotting his pitches a lot better than he did in the first. And even that's saying something considering he got 3 straight outs. He's had a little bit of a better control stamina there. And Chris Williams giving a little bit of a pep talk to his players, whether they're in the on-deck circle or at the plate, that they got to hit. Certainly be a wasted opportunity to have 2 on and nobody out, especially with how hard Fisher hit that ball. Thought that was going to get out in right field, but a search. Peacock followed orders with a fly ball to right. It's caught. They've got a runner going to third. That throw is cut off, and Fisher gets to third. I'm sure that Vineland wishes that they had more, but that's what they're able to settle for right now. They've got 2 outs. And Peacock got good wood on it, but it is a fly ball to right. And brings up Chris Stinson, another Rutgers Camden product. So Fisher roped the double to right. Herner eked his way on the first with a walk, and then a strikeout to Search and a fly out to right by Jack Peacock. Checked up. Appeal says no. What's interesting about being so close to the plate in games like this is hearing just the natural sounds of the game. You know, sometimes we see arguments or we see disputes, and we wonder how they started. But in this kind of a situation, you're just seeing the camaraderie between all the products of the field, the pitcher, the second base umpire, the batter, the catcher, the home plate umpire. You're hearing everything. I mean, I do like to say that these headsets almost give me superpowers in terms of how much that you can hear the great, great sounds of the game. Popped up. This one's way up there. And hear that again. Angelo calls for it, and he's got it. Inning over. Vineland gets 2 runners on, but does not score. A double, a walk, but then a strikeout, a fly out to right, and a pop-up right back to where it came from ends the threat. We're going to the bottom of the second. Here in Runnymede, 3-0.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
We've got Nick Nigro batting in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the first pitch. 3-0 Grizzlies. We have a bit of a personnel change. Nick Gruber is here, coffee in hand. We were talking about him earlier. Joe Apperly was the lead guy to start, but he's now talking down at the third baseline with the Vineland assistant coaches. Eastern Regional had their graduation tonight, so he had to step out for that reason. Little floater down the right field line, and did he come up with it? I couldn't tell if he caught it or not. I think he did, but you see the first base umpire, he's signaling that it was outside of the boundaries that were discussed during the ground rules. Now there's no line there by any means, but I think that what they're saying is, you can see down there, I think that there's a bit of an imaginary line where anything is automatically out of play. So I think that's what they were going for there. It's Nigro, Cohen, and Templeton. 9, 10, and 1 for the Grizzlies in the bottom of the second inning, holding on to a 3-0 lead. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Good morning, good afternoon, and most importantly, good night. That's the second strikeout. And Vineland getting back on the right foot to start the second, after failing to get on the board despite having 2 runners on in the top half. Excuse me, that is the first strikeout for... It's the second strikeout total, but the first for Logan Ruga. And another strike called. He's got 4 in a row. Oh, 1. Got another one. 0-2. Yeah, kind of a rare feat for the Grizzlies. 8 batters in the first. All 8 reached base. And all of that on just 2 hits. Strike 3 on the outside corner. That's back-to-back looking as Nigro and Cohen go down in order, and now it's Ricky Templeton. So we go back to the top of the card here. He singled sharply back up the middle to start the ball game, or to start the bottom of the first. As we close in on the 6:45 mark, 6:10 was the first pitch this evening, as there's a swing and a miss. 0-1. By the way, we did get confirmation that third run did count in the bottom of the first inning because the batter, I keep saying the batter, the runner from third crossed. Ooh, that one's inside. I was holding my tongue a little bit because Ruga had thrown 7 straight strikes, and if he had 2 more, he would have had an immaculate inning, which we have never seen before on DWB. However, it's one of those things to where it comes right at you before you even know it. There is a strike there. I mean, how many times have I seen, first of all, an immaculate inning, fun fact, is rarer than a no-hitter. People praise no-hitters, but immaculate innings have only happened about half as often in the history of Major League Baseball as the no-hitter, as that one is flared down the right field line and fouled. 9 pitches, 3 strikes on each batter, and 3 strikeouts. It counts 1 and 2 here to Templeton, with Viola on the on-deck circle. But I think the reason why people praise no-hitters more than they praise immaculate innings, even though the immaculate inning is rarer, is mostly because a no-hitter is a full game commitment, right? You know, you've got to throw like over 100 pitches, you've got to get 27 outs. Even though no-hitters are less rare, they're kind of more impressive because of the painstaking effort it takes to, especially in today's modern baseball culture, to throw a complete 9-inning game. Oh, that one got him in the helmet. Ruga, hand over his mouth. Templeton still down. Gruber going to check on him. Gruber attending to him. Templeton slamming his Evo shield. Man, that's got to hurt. Again, Nick Gruber, who just came in after, after he got hit. So Gruber came in late, and now he is helping Templeton down the first. He will get down there, but either way, again, Templeton very unhappy with what happened there. He threw his equipment on the ground. And he's actually going to walk back to the dugout. I believe he's going to be removed from this game. We'll see who runs from or for him. We don't have the game changer roster, but it is number 10 running at first. We'll confirm with Gruber at the end of the inning, but you can see Templeton standing outside of the dugout. I think that that's the safest course of action here. They're going to get him some ice. And that's number 10 running at first. We'll clarify at the end of the frame, but man, tough situation there. 2 outs, and Templeton got hit in the temple. Saw that last year with a player from Rosemont got hit Except instead of getting hit in the helmet, he got hit right in the nose because he was facing the pitcher, Dustin Bellis, when misses outside of Viola. But either way, though, I mean, I see just you see that fastball rushing towards the head, and here comes the throw down to second base. It is high, goes into center field. Fisher picks it up. Runner will get down to second safely. The South Jersey Grizzlies up 3-0. There's a big swing and a miss there. So we believe that's Sean Taylor at second base, which would be the PVI grad, which would make sense with Nick Gruber being the assistant head coach at PVI. Just one step on the ladder under DM Phillips. And what's in the dirt, Viola stepped out of the box, was able to avoid any bad situation there. And with Taylor being an infielder at the high school level, we'll see if he'll stay in the game at third or if they'll make a different change once the inning subsides. Runner on second, 2 down after 2 strikeouts by Ruga. Outside there. And it's 3-2. Next up would be A.J. Palumbo. Three balls, 2 strikes to Viola, the product of Del Val University. That one is high. It'll be his 3rd walk of the night, missed a couple just barely. And after back-to-back strikeouts, Ruga falls into the same situation that he did in the first. He's got 2 on and 2 outs, except I guess it's good that he ended the on-base streak for the Grizzlies. There's Mateo Viola out of Del Val, and then there's Dante Viola, a pitcher out of Misericordia, which last year was the Division III national champions for baseball. They've got a couple of high school products out of South Jersey committed there, including Gavin Dillard, the all-time leading hitter for Glassboro. He's committed to Misericordia. I mean, any time that we see South Jersey commits go anywhere for baseball, it's always a good thing, but it's even more so when you see a top-of-the-line D1, D2, or D3 program. And I say before, D3 doesn't get as much credit as they probably should. That one is down. The only reason why I say that is because there's, I mean, how many times this year, there were at least a couple times where an NAIA school beat a Division I. Like UT Rio Grande, I think one of the Texas A&M Corpus Christi schools, one of the Texas A&M satellite campuses that was big enough to be D1. Oh, they got a rundown here. We've got a pickle, and the third baseman takes care of it. Kind of an anticlimactic end to the inning, but a long one at that. We've got 2 runners left on, and the runner Taylor got thrown out, trying to advance to third. We are through 2 here in Runnymede. Grizzlies left off the board. Vineland looking to pounce on the opportunity. It's 3-0.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
Top of the third, we've got some defensive changes here for the Grizzlies. First of all, Casey Brown is the new pitcher, relieving Anthony Angelo Jr. of his duties after 2 scoreless frames. Left-hander comes into this relief appearance rather, with 4 innings and 2 appearances. Sean Taylor is the new shortstop. They moved A.J. Palumbo from short to third after Ricky Templeton's injury. And then they put Sean Taylor, again, the PVI product, and of course, a teammate of Nick Gruber at PVI at short. So Palumbo now at third, Taylor comes into the game at short, and Casey Brown comes into the game to pitch. Got a strike called that time. A scoreless second on both sides after 3 runs came in favor of the Grizzlies in the bottom of the first inning. We've got 9, 10, and 1. We'll start off with Connor Ward. And then Ethan Evans, the RCGC former catcher. They just came off of their 3rd straight Division III JUCO championship, beating Century College by a score of 16-1 to get their title. They beat, for their first 2, they beat some of the Dallas College affiliates. There was Dallas Eastfield and Dallas Richland. Just like New Jersey is a hotbed for JUCO baseball, Texas is right there with them. North Carolina as well. You've got Surrey. New York's got some good ones. SUNY Niagara and Mohawk Valley. Ward strikes out. It's Brown's first. And now we've got Ethan Evans. Vineland got their first hit in the top of the second on a double to right by Darren Fisher. He did not come around to score. Fisher doubled. Herner walked, but then a strikeout, fly out to right, and a pop out to the pitcher ended the threat. We're here in the top of the third, though. Tri-County action here in Runnymede at the Runnymede Youth Athletic Association field, home of the Runnymede Hawks, on a mid-70s Tuesday afternoon. That one's outside. Two balls, no strikes. Southpaw delivers. Keep wanting to say Casey Jones instead of Casey Brown. Sometimes there are certain teams where I can make my Grateful Dead references with ease, like Timber Creek. And maybe the notorious Deadhead head coach, John Cates. Counts 3-1. It's a way of bridging the gap generationally, you know. Here's the 3-1 from Brown. That one's roped by the 9 slot. It goes into left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. This one's going to roll all the way to the wall. He's got to play at second, and he will pump the brakes there. That's exactly how you want to start the offensive rally for Vineland. Get something that gets the people on their feet. And in the 9 slot, you turn the lineup card back over to Ruga. It's the second hit and, more importantly, the second extra base hit for Vineland today. Your biggest opportunity, though, now that you're facing a lefty-lefty matchup in the leadoff spot and a pitcher v. pitcher matchup in the leadoff spot, could definitely be a difficult situation for Vineland. But if they're going to produce, they've got to produce now. He bunts. Good choice there. Goes back to Brown. Got the disadvantage with the left hand, and he got him. It does move the runner to first. It's a successful 1-3 sacrifice. Now there's 2 away. No, that's a good choice by Ruga there. I don't think there was any hesitation. Move the runner over. Ruga's a good hitter, but it's probably a little bit better for him. It's probably a little bit more beneficial for him to bunt and move the runner over as opposed to trying to duke out an at-bat. Let the righty do it. Let the 2-spot Joey Peacock do it. And if he can bloop a single, he can get somebody moved over. We've got umpire calling time at second base. Gonna have a courtesy runner for Evans. So runner comes in at third. The 0-1 to Joey Peacock from Brown. Popped up. That'll go out of play. And onto the Little League field, it's 0-2. Again, another opportunity here where Vineland, I think one of the things we have to realize, it's 6:57 right now on a cloudy Tuesday afternoon. 21 outs are not guaranteed today. Just like we saw with Pine Barrens and Washington Township last week, it is not a guarantee that we'll be seeing that. There's a swing and a miss. The ball was dropped. He's got to go down to first, and it's in time. Bit of a debacle there, but Vineland leaves the runner on third. And for the second time tonight, a runner in scoring position is left stranded. Going to the bottom of the third here in Runnymede, it is 3-0 Grizzlies.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is the responsibility of all of us to make sure that our friends, family, and anybody who we hold dear in our lives is feeling well. The problem with spotting mental health issues is that the symptoms aren't that obvious. Just because someone is okay or appears okay on the outside doesn't mean that they're okay on the inside. It's important that if they are in distress, that they call the right people and they get the help that they need. And it is very important that we treat each other with respect, regardless of who you are or where you come from. But it is just as important that we treat ourselves with respect, regardless of the situation going on in our lives. If you're in distress, you can call this number, 988, or you can visit any of these websites if you're not in distress, but would like to learn more information about mental health awareness and research.
Bottom of the third inning, it's 3-0 Grizzlies. A three spot in the bottom of the first has been all anybody's been able to write in terms of offensive production today, as Palumbo will have his at-bat restarted. 3, 4, and 5 for the Grizzlies. Palumbo, Morales, and Brown. Cody Brown, to be specific, because Casey Brown is pitching. It's 1-0. Bookings are open for the 2025 summer for Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If your travel baseball, softball, or anything in between would like to get coverage for DWB throughout the summer, send me an email with information on how to get your team in the game. Send me an email at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com for information on how to get covered on the fastest growing independent broadcasting organization in New Jersey. There's 2-0. That one is down. And also, if you're a advertiser, small business that would like to be a sponsor of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting or be involved in advertising in some way in front of over 100,000 viewers annually, you can send me an email with an inquiry at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. That's in the description of this video. That's a foul ball down the left field line. Close call. That'll be 3-1. Again, Palumbo to be followed by Morales, who's already got 2 home runs this year with a batting average north of 500. Whoa, look out there. Gets almost grazed another time as deja vu from Templeton's fiasco earlier. It's going to be his 4th walk of the night. Had 2 in the first, another in the second, and adds on another here in the bottom of the third. But a leadoff base runner would definitely be a good opportunity for the Grizzlies to extend their lead. Strike called. Palumbo, again, a CCBC Catonsville product, 5 RBIs. He's 5 for 12 this year. Already has 4 extra base hits, 3 doubles, and a triple, a .417 average. Throw back to first, not in time. But as we said, the heart of the offensive production has been in the first inning. All 8 batters that came up for the Grizzlies, as impressive as it was, all 8 batters got on base one way or another. Just on 2 hits, that ball is cracked. Left center field. It's up, it's back, and it's off the bottom of the wall. It will go through the fence. I think it, you know what, there's a little gap. Oh, there's just a massive door right there. There's a massive door about 6 feet wide that Darren Fisher went through. I was like, why are they not running for it? I think I remember that from the last time we were here in 2023, that there was an issue with not being able to close the door. So it's going to be a ground rule double. I mean, it's got to count for something. That's like a trick shot right there, hitting it through the door. As the batter will now be Cody Brown. 2 runners in scoring position and nobody out after the walk and the ground rule double. Strike called right down Broadway, just above the belt. Take a look at the pencil bat for Cody Brown, the first baseman. They've become pretty popular in recent years, just as some kind of a novelty. I guess both are made of wood. I have seen Little League players use pencil bats, which are made out of metal, which I think is a little bit oxymoronic, if you will, but they've become pretty popular with the wood bat crowd. Just because everybody remembers them from the elementary school years, you know. They're a fun little novelty, and whether they're kids or whether they're Cody Brown, they seem to enjoy it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. 2 runners in scoring position. That one's up and away. Brown to be followed by Ambrosius and Spraggins. We've got a 2-2. Palumbo on third, Morales on second after roping a ground rule double into the gap and through the open door. High and away there. Struggling to find a zone here. Obviously, the hit by pitch to Templeton is what stays in people's minds, but the 4 walks are also a bit of a point of concern. Three-two. Just off. That's walk number 5, and the bases are loaded here with nobody out. And you got to wonder how long of a leash that Chris Williams will have. As now Cole Ambrosius is the batter. I will say, I mean, listen, 5 walks. It's his 4th appearance of the year. Looking at Ruga's stats, he did come into this appearance with 6 walks and 5 hit by pitches. So it's not entirely unprecedented. Hammered a fastball for a strike. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. If you like those odds, you can book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman, 614 Lambs Road. Big swing and a miss there, 0-2. Not too much to lose here. Up 3-0, bases loaded, nobody out, and a good opportunity for the Grizzlies to score. Especially with Palumbo having a little bit of speed here. I mean, he's going to be the first guy to go. Short backstop here also means that with Ruga's control issues that have been evident today, that you're really not going to see too many wild pitches. There's really only about maybe 6 or 7 feet between where the catcher Evans is standing, where the home plate umpire is standing, and where the back wall of that chain link fence is. Look out, that ball ricocheted off the back fence, landed back in play. Yeah, but that's where we stand right now. I mean, listen, the Grizzlies have a big chance to blow this thing wide open, but the 2 Tri-County League games that we've covered this year, Pine Barrens and Washington Township, and then the Gartons and the Grizzlies, have both been similar in their own right. Of course, in the Pine Barrens game, the Phantoms committed so many errors, but their pitchers were mostly on point until they just got worn out. This is a bit of a different situation. I think that these guys are more prepared, but at the end of the day, it's a little bit harder to get everything nailed down when he's had seemingly persistent control issues this season. Once fouled back, Ambrosius keeps the at-bat alive. Again, Ambrosius out of Shenandoah, a 188 hitter this season, 3 for 16. He's already got a home run to his name, 2 walks, 3 stolen bases, and 5 strikeouts, a 653 OPS. He sets up, and the 2-strike pitch. Ooh. Swung at that one high. And after 2 walks and a double, Ruga's able to record his first out of the third. It'll now bring up Keegan Spraggins here. And yet another opportunity for the Grizzlies to get more runs on the board. They've already scored. They scored 3 in the bottom of the first inning. And after a scoreless second, it looked like maybe Ruga was getting back in, but I think that hit by pitch to Templeton really flipped a switch as Spraggins golfs one in the left center field. It's going to be over the head. It'll get down. It scampers past Joe Peacock. 1 run's going to score. Morales is right behind him. This is going to clear the bases. He is safe. 3-run double for Keegan Spraggins. And he contributes when it matters most as he clears the bases. Not only does he unload everything, he unloads the bat and he unloads the scoreboard. 6-0 Grizzlies. As that kind of penultimate hit right there was exactly what you wanted. The outfield grass here isn't exactly low cut, so it's not a good opportunity for, you know, somebody like Spraggins to leg out a triple there, but he still got 3 runs home. Obviously, Morales was waiting for that ball, or check that Palumbo was waiting for that ball to get over the head of Joey Peacock, because if it didn't, that would be a grave mistake. But after the strikeout, now with 1 away, Spraggins ropes 1 into the gap. And we've got a 6-0 game, bringing up Marachi here. Here's the pitch. Another strike called. Quickly 0-2. Feel like that might have woken something up for Ruga here. Although we've said that before, we'll just have to see how much he can settle in. Here's the 0-2. Big swing and a miss. A nice comeback strikeout there on 3 pitches. It's his 4th of the evening. And now Nigro will be the batter here with 2 away. Four strikeouts, another 3 spot, all on 1 swing from Keegan Spraggins. There's a big swing and a miss there. Outside.
What's this, like a semi-pro or high school?
18 and up. Summer League 18 and up.
2 outs, runner on second. There's a line drive in the left field for a base hit. Got past the glove. Here comes the throw from Peacock. It looks good. It's on a line. Throws a little bit offline. That will be an RBI single for Nick Nigro. The Widener bat. And, well, they widen their lead. It's 7-0. I think they're going to have a runner for the catcher here. It makes sense with 2 outs to get him out of there. Marachi's the EH, so I don't think it will be Marachi. I think in this case it's somebody off the bench, and it looks like it's going to be a 0-0 in. It's going to be Jake Vitale at first base. Either way, though, it's a 4-run inning for the Grizzlies, and what is a 7-0 game. 2 teams who came into this Tuesday, not matinee, but Tuesday midweek matchup on winning streaks. Vineland had won 3 in a row. Grizzlies had won 4 in a row. And It looks like one of these teams may have better fate than the other. How about a good rebound there? Throw down to second. It was close. But that's how short the backstop is here in Runnymede. That you really, again, only have 7 or 8 feet, at most 8 feet. And even that, I think, would be a little bit too generous. But either way, though, with Cohen being the batter out of Salem Community College, there's a strike called. Cohen and Joe Fichetti, both JUCO kings of Salem CC, the Mighty Oaks. One's outside. If Camden County had a Cinderella run, Salem had the biggest Cinderella run of them all. Made it to the Final Four, and as the 4 seed knocked off an unbeaten in conference play, RCS Jake Gloucester. That one's down. A puff of black smoke just came up from a truck leaving the parking lot. Looks like a bomb just went off. That's great for the environment. It's going to be coming right our way, too. There's a 3-2. There's a swing and a miss. He got him. Damage for sure done. 4 runs and a couple of walks, a couple of hits, and all told, 8 batters are at the dish. Vineland now trails the South Jersey Grizzlies 7-0 after 3. Top of the 4th inning, it's time for DWB Trivia Time, as we always do here in the 4th inning. Today's question is, former longtime Celtics point guard and current NBA executive and CEO of the Utah Jazz, Danny Ainge, spent 3 seasons in the late 70s and early 80s with which MLB team? A, the Red Sox, B, the Yankees, C, the Blue Jays, or D, the Orioles? Answer will be revealed in the bottom of the 4th inning. Casey Brown misses on the first pitch in the lefty-lefty matchup versus Anthony Charles. It'll be the meat of the order for the Gartons, even though now they are in a much more precarious situation than they were an inning prior. Now down 7-0. Outside there 2-0, just missed. Yeah, good spot for Casey Brown to have 2 lefty-lefty matchups in Charles as well as Ruga. Although Ruga did get a sacrifice hit that time and fouled that one off his foot. He'll try to shake that one off. Count's going to be 2-1 after that foul ball. Again, it's Charles, followed up by Fisher and Herner. Charles 0 for 1. He grounded out to short in his first at bat. Here's the 2-1. Foul back. And it's 2-2. Folks, you hear that diesel truck again?
Yeah, just look for the cloud of
Yeah, just look for its markings. Not just on Black Horse Pike, but on the earth as well. Something, isn't it? 2-2. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Charles down on strikes. Four Ks for the Grizzlies staff. 2 now for Casey Brown. And Fisher will be the batter. Fisher golfed one low and he fouled it back. He doubled out to right field in the second inning. Yeah, I was just looking over there. He was leaving the Wawa. It was a diesel truck that had the back half cut out and had the trailer or the
I made it myself.
I don't know. It was very odd. What's outside? Got a 1-1 count. But I mean, diesel's almost at $4 a gallon. Really not a huge incentive to get a diesel truck. I'm sure he's had that for 30 years and it never has any problems for him or whatever, but it's not exactly a road tripping machine if you ask me. That one's high. Cloudy and muggy night, but a handful of plotches of blue spread throughout the night sky here in Runnymede as the Grizzlies lead this thing 7-0. At least the good thing is with the pace of play tonight, right now we are at 7:19 with about an hour and 10 minutes before sunset. At least in our phone, it's marked as 8:31 p.m. He's outside. Fisher takes a walk. So 1 out free pass brings up Josh Herner, the third baseman, as Vineland still searching for their first run. Like we said, I think in a 7-inning environment, we'll confirm here. I believe it has to go 4 to be official. Or I think it has to go 5 to be official. Especially because this is a league that does not have a run rule or anything, unlike high school or even college that has run rules for 9-inning games. Brown looks back at first, and the pitch from the stretch that time was up and away. Yeah, I think when we see Vineland later on in the season, you know, in late July, towards the end of our commitments with the Tri-County League, I think that it will become clear that this game honestly feels like an anomaly. Grizzlies just might be that good in the South Division or in the North Division this year. They're already third, and honestly, if it weren't for Pine Barrens being 3 and 5, I think they'd be second in there. But again, they're just 1 point behind the Pine Barrens, and then I really was surprised that Camden is leading the division. The Camden Reds, they're 4-1-2. They've played 7 games, and they've tied 2 of them, including a scoreless tie versus the new Blackwood Bears that have still struggled to get their first win of the year. They're 0-7-1 on the season. But here's the pitch. There's a swing and a miss. And it's 2-2. 1 away, runner on after the walk to Fisher. He's reached base twice today. Fouled straight back by Herner. Herner out of Everett University. .429 hitter this year, 3 for 7, so it's a small sample size, but 1 walk, .556 on-base percentage, and a .985 OPS. That one got fouled, went into the glove of Nigro, and he struck him out. There's 2 away. Well, now here's Search. Out of TCNJ, former Collingswood product, just trying to find Vineland's first run of the day. They trail at 7-0 in the top of the 4th inning. And this game feels like it's just come to a halt tonight. Some Summer League games are like that. I think that there's certainly some factors. Sometimes it's the weather. If it's really hot, you're going to feel like you're out here for a while. If it's the what's the right word? If it's the attendance, you know, sometimes if you don't have too many people in a stadium at one time, you know, like we've done high school baseball games where they're 2.5 hours and sometimes even closing in on the 3-hour mark, but just because of the atmosphere, because of the intensity, it feels like it's gone a little bit faster. And then with this, you got a 7-0 game, middle of the week. Your perception of time can be skewed in one way or another. Here's the pitch. It's 3 balls, no strikes, so certainly a good sign for Vineland, as Casey Brown struggling a tiny bit to find the strike zone. 1 pitch away from walking the second batter this inning. 3-0 from Jones will be above the letters, and it's a free pass, moving Fisher down a second to bring up Jack Peacock. As much as this will be a good situation for Vineland, it would be another gut punch if they don't score. They left 2 runners on in the second, another on in the third. So they've already left 3 runners on, could be going up to 5 if they don't get anything going. 2 strikeouts and 2 walks. Been pretty polarizing of an inning for Casey Brown. Looks back at second at Fisher, and the first pitch is low. There is a right-hander warming up in the pen for the Grizzlies. I say the bullpen as loosely as can be. Peacock 0 for 1, flew out to right in his first at-bat. That one misses. The slate for today's Tuesday games, Blackwood Bears play Camden at the Camden Athletic Complex at 7 o'clock tonight. Washington Township and Burlington Township play at Varick Field at 7. And then the latest game of the day, Cinnaminson and Pine Barrens at Patty Boker at 7:30. Tomorrow, CHBR plays Vineland at Vineland, 7 p.m. All 3 games are at 7. There's a strike called. Going to be 3-1 as he caught the strike zone for the first time in 7 pitches. Rough Riders play Cinnaminson at Memorial Park Field, and then Washington Township plays CHP at Alcyon. Going to be back-to-back home games on back-to-back nights for CHP. We see them on Thursday versus CHBR. And then again for the Gartons, their next game will be tomorrow at home versus CHBR. And then the Grizzlies, they're actually going to have a full week of a break. They don't play until Wednesday the 25th, again at home versus Washington Township. Brown steps off. Again, we're going to have a full count, 2 outs, and he's been pretty straightforward. A strikeout, a walk, another strikeout, and another walk to Search. And now Peacock dealing with 2 runners on and 2 away as the Garton search for their first run of the evening. Brown lollipops a pick off to first, not in time. Three-two. Oh, that one hit the, oh my goodness. It lodged in the umpire's mask. I have never seen that before. It lodged right in the umpire's mask, right beneath his collar. and the helmet. Oh my goodness. Williams wants time here. Not sure if he's going to talk to Peacock. No, he's not talking to Peacock. He's going to talk to the home plate umpire, it looks like. Well, Chris Williams just posed a very interesting question. He asked if when a ball gets caught in the umpire's equipment, do the runners advance? Got a 3-2 count. That one's fouled back. Got a 3-2 count. 2 on and 2 out. Brown delivers. And that is ball 4. The bases are loaded. Bases are loaded as Brown misses for the 3rd time. And Brown not pleased. Haven't heard that line before. Just, he straight up told the umpire to his face, which one can you see the best? The batter is Stinson. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Swing and a miss. That one is outside. There's a swing and a miss. It's 1-2. To give some closure to that, Chris Williams might actually be right. There is a line in a website called baseballrulesacademy.com that says when a pitch is lodged in the umpire's equipment, the ball is dead and runners advance 1 base. Ooh, a hesitant check swing. He's going to step on home plate, and the inning is over. An odd end to the inning, and good thing we did that rules check because Chris Williams actually was right. When that ball got caught in the between the umpire's shirt, where his collar is, he's got the pads under there, and when it got caught with his mask, that actually, Chris Williams was right. That should have been a dead ball, and the runners would have advanced. However, the inning is over either way. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. As painful of an inning as you can get. And we go to the bottom of the 4th here in Runnymede, 7-0. Bottom of the fourth inning, we lead off with PVI's Sean Taylor, as he misses inside. Ruga, his day is done. Got a swing and a miss that time. Taylor on the ground to short. It's picked up. Throw to first is in time. And the inning is over. I'm sorry. First out of the inning. I was too busy looking up the Garton's roster on what's it called? Game Changer. The new pitcher is number 6, Jack Peacock. And the batter is going to be Viola. Again, Taylor being the replacement for Templeton, who got injured in the second inning on a hit-by-pitch. Ruga's day is done after allowing 4 walks and 7 runs with no errors in the field. All of them were earned. And again, that top of the fourth inning was just incredibly painful for the Gartons. 3 walks allowed by Casey Brown. However, 3 straight strikeouts. Got a 1-2 count here to Viola. Outside. And we did say, by the way, that that inquiry by Chris Williams was correct. Now, not often, I would imagine that situation, there's strike 3 called on the outside corner. 2 away. Again, I don't think that, I mean, we know the Tri-State Elite folks pretty well. We know John Gallante pretty well. I don't think that is maybe taught the most, you're not spending a whole week on that in umpiring school. If a foul ball gets caught in your mask. Now, we know that if the ball gets caught in the catcher's mask, which it has a handful of times, not tonight, but just in general, we've seen that a couple of times. The ball gets caught in the mask. Either way, that would be a dead ball. In the situation of the umpire, it would be 1 base. Now, in the grand scheme of things, it's a 7-0 game. Does it change much? No. But it's an 0-1 count to Palumbo. Misses inside. So the clouds rolling over here as they have all day here in Runnymede. Grizzlies lead at 7-0. Before we forget, let's reintroduce the DWB Trivia Time. Today's question is, former longtime Celtics point guard Danny Ainge and current CEO of the Utah Jazz, that one hit him right in the backside. It's a hit-by-pitch to Palumbo. He's reached base 3 times tonight, and now it's Morales. But either way, Danny Ainge played 3 seasons in the MLB in the late 1970s, early 1980s, with which MLB team? A, the Boston Red Sox, B, the New York Yankees, C, the Toronto Blue Jays, or D, the Baltimore Orioles. Vincent Folk, you got a guess?
I remember this question, but
I think you remember it from last year.
Yeah. Is it the Red Sox?
No, it would be the Toronto Blue Jays. C is your correct answer. We should start keeping stats of how often our producers are right with trivia time. But 0-1 count after Morales fouled that one off. He got a ground rule double in the bottom of the third. This is inside. Seems like both Palumbo and Morales not exactly crowding the plate, but they're definitely on the inner half. But they both have very straightforward batting stances. I mean, it's a bit of a more open stance for Morales than it is for Palumbo. But that's just because how smooth of a swing that he has as a righty. He kind of has to step into it through an open stance. If he does that from an open stance, his elbow is going to be a little bit jammed up a little bit, and he's not going to have as clean of a swing as he does. So I think he's got the best predicament that he can. And there's strike 3. Inside corner. A scoreless inning of relief for Jack Peacock. And after 4, the Gartons still looking for their first run, as not only are they racing against the outs, they're racing against the clock. probably about to have about an hour, maybe 45 minutes of baseball left to play. We go to the fifth, 7-0 Grizzlies. Top of the fifth inning. This broadcast is brought to you by DAWG Pro Wrestling. That one's outside. We got a 1-1 count and a 7-0 game. Starting off with Ward and then Evans. And I think Ruga. Yeah, Ruga does have a helmet on. It's 2-1. As we said, this broadcast is brought to you by DAWG Pro Wrestling, New Jersey's premier pro wrestling organization with high-flying events and nonstop entertainment throughout the Garden State. You can visit their website today for more information on future events at dawgprowrestling.com. That one's foul. Like we said, we are kind of racing against the clock, but the game is official. Game became official after 3.5. That one skips through, and that's a free pass. I'll tell you this, even though they haven't allowed any runs, the Grizzlies have had their fair share of issues with walks. They walked 3 batters in the top of the 4th. Or check that bottom of the, no, excuse me. Vineland did walk 3 times in the top of the 4th. But did not score. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. It's 1-0 to Ethan Evans. Got jammed. This one's out towards short. Picked up by Taylor. Throw is in time. Brown looked to back pick at second, and he gets him over. So productive nonetheless out of the 9 spot, especially considering Evans' double in the 3rd. It's 1 away, moves the runner into scoring position for Ruga. So Evans is retired. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1 to Ruga. Ruga, who was the starting pitcher in today's game, again the product of Washington College, 0 for 2, as a ground out to second and a sacrifice hit in third. Thought the runner might go that time, but it's out. So this game was started under assistant coach Joe Opperly. He coordinated everything, and then Nick Gruber came by in the second inning. Came in late enough to see or to miss the Grizzlies scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the first. They scored 4 in the bottom of the third. Count is 2-2 here to the Vineland leadoff man Ruga. He'll be followed by the right-hander Joey Peacock out of St. Augustine. That one is high. Count's full. Should be noted there is a new catcher behind the plate, Joey Fichetti. He replaces the former catcher Nick Nigro. And there's a swing and a miss. Ruga goes down swinging. And there's 2 away here in the top of the 5th. It brings up Joey Peacock. Vineland has left 6 runners on tonight. I mean, listen, it's the top of the 5th inning. I don't think that there is 0 chance that we complete this game. I think that it's possible that we complete it. It's just not guaranteed. I mean, again, you know, we were talking with Bill Cohut earlier, and one of the things I said is that I don't remember any games being called due to darkness in my first 2 years, but maybe 1. But that's also because in 2023, when we worked with Tri-County, this is our 2nd full season with the league. I think we did 6 or 7 regular season games. And in 2023, we only did a handful of regular season games. All the rest were playoff games. Our first game was actually between Garton's and C.H. Pittman on July 5th. As that one's hitting the left field, it's going to drop. Oh, it hit off the face of the left fielder. Vineland's going to get their first run home. The throw skips away. It hits Fichetti. Now it goes back to the pitcher. He'll hang on to it, but it's going to be an RBI single, which turns into 2 bases for Joey Peacock, and it's now 7-1. First of all, not to mention that the new pitcher is Timmy Schell. Schell of Rosemont College. We talked about Rosemont earlier with our coverage of Rutgers-Camden. Schell with a 4.85 ERA in 4 1/3 innings this season. 4 walks, 8 Ks, 3 earned runs, and a 1.62 whip. And hey, it's never too late to start a comeback. We'll just have to ask Bill if in the event of a darkness-related cancellation, if you will, if all the results revert back to the last full inning, just like it does in the NJSIAA. That one is popped up. Who's got this one? It's out towards third. Palumbo goes over, and he catches the ball right over the pitcher's mound, and the inning is over. Gartons get 1 back on an RBI single to left field, but nothing more. As we go to the bottom of the 5th with a race against the clock in order, it is 7-1.
Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
Cody Brown is the batter to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. Vineland did get a run back. However, it is now 7-1. Yeah, run back in this situation would have been a lot nicer in the 2nd or the 3rd. But Brown smokes the ball out to right field. It's up, it's back, and it's over the head in right field. Brown's going to be hustling the 2nd. Oh, he got around it. He got around the tag. Chris Williams coming out immediately. The shortstop not happy there. We didn't get a good angle of it. The home plate umpire was in our way. This is where things can get a little bit iffy here. The umpires are talking it over, and one of the Grizzlies coaches came out. They're gonna call him safe. But again, Chris Williams wasn't happy, and the Grizzlies objected to even him arguing by saying that he was that he didn't have a good angle of it. But now Williams will come out and have a word with the second base umpire. And again, even in this kind of situation, it's a 6-run game, but as a baseball coach, you have to make sure that things are right. We didn't get a good angle of the play. Well, because from where we were, the home plate umpire had gone out into the field, right between the foul line and the pitcher's mound, and it was just right in between where we were standing. As that one is fouled back, hit off the brick wall of the senior center. Yeah, like I said, I did not get a good angle of that. But Brown, after kind of overshooting the bag at second, gets a double. That is kind of the risk you run with summer leagues. You can get away with a little bit more in the summer league. Probably some of the things that were said tonight, some of the pleasantries that were exchanged would have gotten an automatic ejection and a 2-game suspension in high school. But even in college, I think that they would have had a little bit of a tighter leash. But here, when you're playing in the middle of June and just having a little bit of fun, not to say that these players don't take it seriously. That one's hitting the left field. That's going to be a base hit. The throw from Peacock, or check that, the throw from left, yes, by Joe Peacock, comes in. Now we got back-to-back. Ambrosius gets a single. And now Spraggins will bat with 2 runners on. He's definitely in contention for our player of the game candidate tonight. He's got a 3-run double to his name and a walk. Got a chance for more. Fly ball, left center field. It's hit well. It's up there. Going back, Fisher is there. Here comes the throw to the plate. It gets cut off, and the runner will score. Cody Brown hustles in. It's a sacrifice fly, and it's RBI number 4 for Keegan Spraggins. 3 straight productive at-bats, and it is now 8-1. And that is the first out of the inning. So Brown scores. Ambrosius did hold at first. And now Marachi's the batter. Or no, excuse me. They're changing things up on me again. Swing and a miss there. Number 99, Hunter Cohen, is the batter. There's a swing and a miss. So Cohen is down on strikes. He seemed to move up in the order then, because Cohen was originally the 10 starter. I don't know how you can do that, but I'm just going to leave it be for now. I'm not exactly sure. And in an 8-1 game, I don't know how much of leverage it has. It's inside to Nigro. I think I see what they did here. They've got Fichetti on deck, so they just moved Cohen up. And now they've got Fichetti in the on-deck circle, of course, with his catching gear on, in the instance that Nigro does not get on base. There's 2 outs, runner on first base in Cole Ambrosius. There's a fly ball. Nigro hit it well. This one's straight away in the left field, and Joe Peacock brings it down. Run comes home on Keegan Spraggins' 4th RBI of the night, a sac fly to center field. And again, we're at 7:53 right now. They'll have 2 innings on both sides. We'll see how much they can get in. It's 8-1.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
It's actually a little bit brighter on camera than it is in person tonight. It is a race against the clock as Darren Fisher is the leadoff man in the top of the 6th inning. And honestly, if you want my honest opinion, the future of this game probably hinges on the top of this inning. It's 8-1, Grizzlies over the Gartons, and it would be a 2-for-2 streak, back-to-back games that we've covered affected by darkness. Honestly, I'd rather have a game affected by darkness than affected by rain. 7 days a week. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. It's rained over the weekend. But this is the same situation that the Phantoms had when they were down a whole bunch. They scored 2 runs in the final inning versus the Senators. Final score was 11-3. But it's 4, 5, and 6, leading off with Fisher. Got a piece of it. Fisher's 1 for 1. He doubled in the 2nd inning down the right field line. He walked. Vineland, though, a lot of opportunities on the base paths. They've left 8 runners on base tonight, including the bases loaded in the 4th and 2 runners on in the 5th. By no means is it an easy pill to swallow. When you add up the numbers of the runners left on and you add up the numbers of how many runs you're down, the Pine Barrens didn't really have that problem when we covered them last week. It was definitely different. Went fouled back. But in this part of the season, you know, there's still time for a little bit of brewing. Vineland's 3-game winning streak would be snapped with a loss. Grizzlies would go on to win their 5th straight as there's a ground ball down the third base line to Palumbo, and it's foul. And as we said, the Grizzlies don't play next for another 8 days until they extend their homestand with a 6-10 matchup versus Washington Township. There's a swing and a miss. He picks up the K. Fisher strikes out, and there's one away in the top of the 6th for Herner. In the North, this win would actually bring, if Camden does tie or lose to Blackwood tonight, this would give the Grizzlies sole possession of first in the North. However, with the Bears being 0-7-1, it's probably more likely that these two will stay the same. Camden right now at 4-1-2 with 2 ties already this season. Grizzlies winning 5 straight would improve to 5-2. And they did move up to second in the division. Garton's in third in the 5-team Tri-County South. Senators, they've won 3 straight. They're 5-1. Cherry Hill Pittman, they've won 4 straight. They're 4-1. And then the Gartons, they're at 3-1. That could be snapped, joining the other 2 teams in the bottom of the division that are on active losing streaks. Cinnamons and Crew had a very promising start. They were off to a 2-0 beginning to the season, and then they have now lost 5 straight. And Blackwood, they tied their first game of the season and have now lost 7 straight. There's a strike called. It's 2-2. Yeah, I really want to give it justice. That's probably more like what it is outside right now. That's a little bit more accurate. That one's high. It's a 3-2 count. Nearing the 8 o'clock hour. That ball's popped up. This one's into left field. And he's got it, 2 away. Well, with the Grizzlies dugout being quite excited, I wonder if that's a precursor, if you will. Stay tuned for the DWB postgame show presented by DAWG Pro Wrestling, New Jersey's premier pro wrestling organization with high-flying events and nonstop entertainment throughout the Garden State. Like we said, our next broadcast will be Thursday, June 19th, a South Division matchup between CHBR, actually another North and South clash between CHBR and Cherry Hill Pittman. And then I go on vacation for 8 days. We missed you, Vince, for a little while. He was on vacation in Bermuda. I get to go to St. Louis. Basically the same, right? Bermuda's got palm trees and blue water, and St. Louis has Circle K, and the Dome at America Center. Former home of the St. Louis Rams. Equally exciting. 2 outs. That one's fouled back. He's got a 2-strike count now. 1-2. Back-to-back foul balls there to Tim Search. Again, Vineland snapping a 3-game win streak. They would fall to 3-2, hanging on to a solid 3rd place, right in the middle of the road in the Tri-County South. Meanwhile, 5 straight wins for the Grizzlies would bring them to 5-2 with a solid 2nd place. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dante Viola fouled it back. There's a ground ball, ripped foul, took a ricochet throughout the Vineland dugout. No mercy that time. Here's the pitch from the southpaw Viola. It's foul. Oh, ball got stuck. Saying the last baseballs are in play. Kind of like the last call at a bar. It's 8:02 tonight. Just about 75 degrees. A beautiful night here in Runnymede. And it misses in. I don't know if you felt that, Vince. A couple chunks of dirt from the catcher sliding came up and hit my leg. Thought it was a fly or something. Then I see the dirt shaking out. Counts 3-2. 2 away. 8-1. Popped straight up. This could be trouble. Down the right field line, and it drops. Again, a little bit of a byproduct of the fact that it's getting darker and darker tonight. Again, you wish that, you know, you could hang up a little bit longer, or you wish that there were proper lights here, but, I mean, even the youth camp has packed up and left. But for this, they've at least got to finish the inning, and then we'll get a clearer picture of how much longer they want to play this game. We've got a 3-2 count, 2 away. Viola, the left-hander, to Search, who's 0 for 1 tonight. That one is outside. He's got his second walk, and we stay alive for another batter in this inning. And now the batter will be Jack Peacock, who came on in relief of Ruga after his 4-inning stint where he allowed 7 runs. Grizzlies got off to a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning and scored 4 more in the third. The first inning was ultra impressive. Had 8 batters come to the plate. All 8 reached base, and 3 of them scored. And all of that was only on 2 hits, shockingly enough. A lot of fielders' choices, lots of walks. But the interesting thing is no errors. At least in our book, there are no errors. There have been no errors by either side today, which, no matter what level of baseball it is, you don't see that too often. Now, of course, the philosophies of scoring have changed, and it has made it a lot more favorable to the hitters. I mean, my friend David Cohen, he does the scoring for Seneca High School. He played there for 4 years, and for the time that he wasn't playing, he was scoring those games in the Game Changer app or whatnot. That one missed. It's a 3-1 count. But either way, you know, he is insistent on being fair to both teams. Whether it's an error or whether it's a hit, doesn't matter if it's your team or whether it's against your team. Greg Sevening wanted that. He wanted that to be fair. That's a base hit. That is fair down the right field line. It's going to drop for a hit. He uncorks a throw to third. It is in time. And how about that from a throw from Zach Morales in right field? He unloads on a ball, and it looks like everybody's pouring out of the dugouts, which means, as expected, that this game will end due to darkness with an 8-1 final. A single to right, a throw uncorked by Morales ends it. And the final score tonight, the Grizzlies have won 5 straight, and they win it 8-1 here tonight. A base hit to right by Jack Peacock. The runner Search was thrown out at third, and that was the final out of the ball game. Your player of the game presented by DAWG Pro Wrestling is Keegan Spraggins, the Triton grad. Drove in 4 runs and got the penultimate hit of the game with a 3-run double in the bottom of the third inning as a part of a 4 spot that gave the Grizzlies, or extended the Grizzlies' lead that they did not relinquish for the entire night. We'll be right back with post-game interview and more here on DWB in just a moment. Our player of the game for tonight's game between the Vineland Gartons and the South Jersey Grizzlies, Keegan Spraggins, a Triton grad, went 1 for 1, but had the most important at-bat of all, 3-run double into the left center field gap as a part of a 4-run third inning. He had 4 RBIs on the day. First of all, Keegan, how'd you feel out there today?
I feel great. I just know that my pitchers are going to do everything that they can for us. They come out here and they do their thing. They really do. And as us as hitters, we just know that we're going to put the bat on the ball and we're going to score them runs. We know that we're going to win games.
Yeah, you guys got off to I adjusted the wrong mic. I was trying to make you a little bit louder. We're still early in the season here with Tri-County, but I was saying, you guys had a great start tonight. 8 batters in the first inning. All 8 of them reached base, which I thought was really impressive. What is it for you guys during this 5-game winning streak that you guys have really found a great rhythm with? Because it's not easy to win multiple games in a row in this league with how unpredictable it can be. How do you think that your team has gotten this good, this fast, this early in the season?
Like I said we just have a lot of trust in each other. We have very good vibes. We come here, we support each other. We know that we're gonna play good.
And especially coming into this game versus Vineland, they were on a 3-game win streak of their own. So coming in to defend your home field is always important. But
Yes,
you
sir.
guys got it done. And listen, 8 runs on 7 hits, can't complain too much. And you guys seemed really disciplined out there as well. Going into this matchup, this is always an interesting field to play at just because of the dimensions, the giant door in left center field that Morales hit it through.
Yeah.
It's not easy. But you guys don't have another game for 8 days. You play Washington Township on the 25th. How do you feel your team is going to stay hot and stay prepared during the break and be ready for win number 6 next week?
I just know that we hit a lot. I feel like that's the best thing is consistency. Consistency is key. Every day in the group chat, the boys are asking, hey, where are we hitting, when are we hitting? And I feel like that's just what makes us so much better. We come out here, we support each other, and our just vibes are high right now. And I feel like just going to keep battling and keep going forward, moving on.
Well, if you know anything about the Phillies, vibes can sometimes go a long, long way.
Yes, sir.
Keegan, thank you very much. We're going to close with our DWB tradition. We're going to have you sign the bottom of the scorecard. Just make it nice and big on the bottom there.
This way or this way?
It doesn't matter. Just, right along that side. As our player of the game, presented by DAWG Pro Wrestling, Keegan Spraggins, the grad of Triton Regional, gets himself 4 RBIs in an 8-1 win for the South Jersey Grizzlies. All right, thank you very much, Keegan.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good night.
You as well.
All right, that will be all for us tonight here on DWB. A good game nonetheless, an 8-1 final as Keegan Spraggins drives in 4 runs, not to mention some good pitching performances from the Grizzlies, and Vineland leaving 9 runners on base. Check that in the 7th inning. Not the best from them, but they're going to look to rebound as they've got a game tomorrow night. They're going to be hosting Washington Township tomorrow at Vineland High School. So maybe the home stretch can turn Chris Williams and this Garton's team around. The Grizzlies, though, they've won 5 straight. This is a good opportunity for them to feel good, but I am a little bit weary about the fact that they're not going to be playing for 8 days. And in high school, it's a little bit different if you've got like a spring break or if these guys are all around each other all the time. But in a summer league, 8 days can be a long break. And they'll be back here on next Wednesday versus Washington Township as they will continue their homestand versus the Senators on June 25th. That'll be all for us tonight here on DWB. Our next broadcast will be CHBR in Cherry Hill Pittman on Thursday, June 19th, just before I leave for my vacation out in the Midwest. But we'll be seeing a North versus South battle with the 2 Cherry Hill teams duking it out at 7 o'clock at Alcyon Park on Thursday. From our entire crew, our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Caleb Lane and Carson Rosso, my producer, Vincent Vogt, who just came back from his vacation, I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you on Thursday at the glorious Alcyon Park for CHBR in Cherry Hill Pittman. Have a good one, folks. Grizzlies win it 8-1.